It's truly amazing to witness the story of how Hope for Paws saved a kitten from 43-foot well. Before you move on, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so that you can be updated with more awesome videos. In mid-May, animal rescue charity Hope for Paws received a text from South Carolina with an urgent message. A kitten had managed to become stuck for 4 days at the bottom of a deep well, just 4 inches in diameter and needing rescuing as soon as possible. They immediately asked their friend, Kimberly Cockrell, to inspect and evaluate the urgency of the situation for them. Upon arriving at the scene, she sent them a video in which the kitten can be heard meowing frantically despite attempts to rescuing they had thus far been unsuccessful. Loretta Franken, I and a partner from Hope for Paws, flew all night to the other side of the country to try and rescue the desperate kitten. When they arrived, they met with Robin James from Freedom Plumbing, and together they set to work on rescuing him. Deborah, the homeowner, had connected many branches in the hope that the kitten would be able to climb up. Prior to their arrival, she tried to pull these branches out, but in doing so, only succeeded in breaking up. With his meows becoming weaker by the second, they needed to act fast. After a lengthy process of removing the wood, they decided to lower down a camera to get a clearer picture of the kitten's condition. 20, 30, 40 feet later, the camera finally comes across the kitten, who can still be heard mewing. It becomes immediately clear that the kitten is exhausted, having spent almost 5 days in the narrow pipe. He closes his eyes and stops mewing. Although the kitten was still alive, the team recognized the urgency of the situation and got to work, creating a gentle snare to loop around the kitten and bring him to the surface. Along with the camera, they lowered down the snare. When the camera reaches the kitten, he can be seen trying desperately to climb up the pipe, exhausting himself in the process. Lumps of food can be seen on his face, obscuring his vision. The meowing quickly becomes more urgent, and the team come upon the realization that a readjustment was needed in order to maximize the snare's effectiveness. All of a sudden, the kitten stops meowing, adjustments made. The team once again lowers the camera and the snare. This time, with greater success, they managed to loop it around the kitten's head and started to gently pull him up. Once the kitten's head finally surfaced, it was all hands on deck to make sure he didn't try to run away. They wrapped him up in a blanket and nestled him against their chest. He is then immediately taken to the hospital for IV fluids, where the toll of his 120-hour ordeals start to become clearer, as well as suffering from hypothermia. The little kitten, later named Jessie, was also suffering from muscular atrophy, struggling to walk. Thankfully, Jessie tested negative for both FIV and FELV. After a nice wash and shampoo in his sink, Jessie looked significantly better and was fully on the road to recovery. The next day, Deborah came to visit him, whereupon she exclaimed that she thinks he may have used up a few of his 9 lives. Nevertheless, just 26 hours after his rescue, he was excited to play, relishing in the joys of being a kitten. He now has a wonderful home with a woman named Patty, who also has a rescue dog named Shaggy. He is now living the life he deserves, receiving no shortage of love and attention. Hope for Paws use the rescue to remind people to check their property for any potential hazards for animals.